My dad, he was he was ill. He was very ill indeed. He was hot and very hot, and then he was coughing, and then he continued to coughing. He was coughing like he was trying to turn himself inside out. That's what my mum said. Then we went into the hospital, and we weren't allowed to see him at all. My mum, she was allowed to speak to him on the phone, and once I spoke to him on the phone, and he said, "I love you, son. I love you very much." He'd never done that before. And then not long after that, he died. Our flats where we live, they're 21 stories high, and that's a lot of people. But everyone knows me. I'm Ollie. Ollie from the 15th floor. I chat with people in the lifts, and I like to cheer them up. I'm a bit different because I've got autism. but we're all human, aren't we? Well, that's what my mum says. In the hospital, they asked my dad if he wants to be in a clinical trial, and he told them to F off. "I ain't gonna be your effing guinea pig," he said. I didn't understand why he said that because I love guinea pigs. I looked after a guinea pig for my school once when I was a kid. I called him Batman after my favourite superhero. My mum said my dad was just being a grumpy old git. He was 56 though, so he wasn't actually old, but he was quite grumpy sometimes. He had diabetes, and his blood pressure was too high. They wanted to try out some sort of medicine on him, something that might help people get better from coronavirus. Daft sod, my mum said. How are we going to get through this whole pandemic thing if people don't start taking part in trials? I was watching Batman Begins when the hospital phoned with the news. My mum started crying on the phone just as Batman was flying through Gotham City saving people. But no one could save my dad. We weren't even there when he passed. It was horrible. We both got unwell after that, and I said to my mum, I said, we should do a trial if they ask us. "I'm hoping it won't come to that," she said. She meant, "I hope we don't end up in a hospital. But if you were asked," I said, "would you?" And she said, yeah. She would. She definitely would, because they need to do research on people like us too, not just on those, on those young posh people like them ones we saw doing trials for the coronavirus vaccine on TV. I said, "What do you mean, people like us?" Oh, I thought she was talking about, me being a bit different, but she said no. Sometimes people think we're not important because we live in the flats and we don't have posh jobs or cars or big houses. They don't include us in things. And she said she was angry with my dad. She said he could have been given a treatment. He could have got better. He was always too suspicious, she said, reading stupid conspiracy theories on the internet that, mobile phone masks give you coronavirus and vaccines kill you. Daft sod, she said. And then she started crying again. If I do end up in hospital, she said, I'll say yes to a trial, definitely. And I said that I'd make sure I'd let them know that. I started getting better, but my mum, she didn't. She was She was hot, and she stayed hot. She was coughing, and the coughing got worse, like it was trying to turn herself inside out. And by the time the ambulance people arrived, her breathing was so bad, and she couldn't really talk. So I said it to them. I said, "My mum wants to take part in this trial." But I don't think they really took it in because they were busy, dealing with my mum. The hospital phoned later to tell me how she was doing, and I said it again. I said, they said she was on oxygen, and I said, "Can she talk?" And they said no. And so I said, "She's an important person, my mum." And they said that they knew that, and I said, "She wants to take part in these clinical trials." It was a research nurse, and she was very pleased to hear what I said, and she said that they would ask my mum about it, and they did. They asked her if she wanted to take part in it, and she nodded, and then she put her thumbs up, so that meant yes. And then the nurse said it was because of me that they knew, and I said I was pleased because now my mum might get better once she's taken the medicine. And the nurse said it was a control trial, so my mum might not get the extra medicine. She said some people get it and some people don't, so that they can tell when the medicine works or not. And I got upset then. I said, "I've already lost my dad." I said, "I've already lost my dad. I don't want to lose my mum too, and I don't want to be alone." And she was really lovely. She was really lovely to me, and she said that my mum would be a hero for taking part in these trials, whether she got the medicine or not. And I said, a hero like Batman. And she said, yes, exactly. But she didn't know Batman was a guinea pig as well. My mum, she started to get better after that, and she took part in the recovery trial, and they gave her an antiviral drug, and I started calling her my little guinea pig because I'm very proud of her for taking part in those trials. Guinea pigs can be superheroes, and people like my mum, they're important.